Hello, hello, hello! Happy Wednesday, last Wednesday of June, the month, best month of the year. You have myself, Bruno Hagen, and this is our stream because there's no building without us.
Teaming.
Nice.
Nice to see you, Bruno Hagen.
Nice, that's me. That's my name. Don't overuse it.
Okay, I'll try not
how
to.
are you, Hagen?
I am well. A little dizzy, but otherwise very well.
Have you been outside lately?
I have.
It's a little toasty.
Actually,
Are you hydrating yourself?
I am, but I think it's actually
you look a little cheeky, so
a little cheeky.
yeah, a little reddish, like
okay. I mean, I was outside the other day. Maybe I got sunburned.
maybe. You put sunscreen on?
Never.
Nice.
I'm very against lotions of any kind.
Hot take.
Hot take, very hot. But how are you?
Pretty good.
That's
good. Staying busy.
That's right.
Working a few big announcements on the VDC side.
Oh, there are?
A little bit. I can't disclose them yet, but
Oh, well, that's exciting.
I know
For
just
the future.
For the future, just dropping a little seed there.
Oh, okay.
For later. But other than that, pretty good.
Nice.
Chugging and going.
Okay. Excellent.
How's the R&D side? What are you guys been up to lately?
The R&D department is doing wonderful. Working pre-con historical cost dashboard, getting some things ready to showcase to Tim Simpson, that
the
is.
team?
The Tim Simpson. Yes, exporting from that dashboard that we created so they can kind of streamline some of their processes, hopefully make things a little bit faster. The RO ideal client, kind of the research that James and I were doing. Me more on the RO data side, James more on just like the market in general. He wrote that report yesterday. Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh,
He's sending
piece
it
of
off.
cake.
Yes. He's sending it off to the Ops Council so they'll have a nice little discussion about perhaps where to take RO in the future, which clients we should approach, which sectors we should go for. That could all come from the R&D department, which is pretty exciting. Although we were directed by the Ops Council, so not really from the R&D department, but at least they'll be supporting
there you go.
data for that. And then lastly, on Friday, we whipped together a little texting thingamabob, and then we texted everyone at RO.
Wow.
Did you get that message?
I did not.
That's a lie, because I asked you and I saw it on your phone.
You're checking my phone now.
I am, yes.
Oh.
I check your location, your phone number,
No.
everything.
Safety protocol.
That's right. Sometimes I just go into your apartment and just see if you're sleeping or not.
I'm concerned.
Yeah, you should be. Anyway, we texted everyone at RO, and now you can just text in your ideas for the AI-powered construction challenge. So if you have an idea,
wrap up soon?
it wraps up this Friday.
This Friday?
This Friday at the end of the day. So get your submissions in if you
Do you know
haven't
what date
already.
it is, number-wise?
The 30th?
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, it's the 30th, because 29th is Ops Council. That's tomorrow.
Nice.
So, yes, you got until the 30th, end of the day, submit your idea. You can go to the Innovation Station if you like and submit there, or you can just text it in. We've had 2 submissions via text.
That's good.
And then actually, when we announced the whole texting thing, we had 3 more submissions online. So we have 14? It's either 14 or 16 ideas out. So
that's pretty good.
that's pretty
That's
great.
party.
Yeah. But it's not enough. We still need more. So if you have those ideas, get them in. Real lickety split. And again, they don't have to be anything crazy.
Just like that.
A couple sentences will suffice. Not one sentence will suffice.
Nice.
Yes.
When you say end of the day on Friday, is this 5 o'clock? Or is it you're like 1 p.m. and when you go home?
Let me check with 6 o'clock. 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Yes.
Good to know.
Yeah.
We're trying to ensure that all those hard-working field personnel have every opportunity to get in there late in the afternoon and get those ideas submitted.
Huh.
Oh,
Was that voice in your head or mine?
I think it was from the ceiling.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It did sound very godly.
Oh.
Just looking for a raise, really. But what about RO? What's RO got going on?
Oh, well, kind of a fun little item for you. I know on Procore's website there was a little article piece with a video
Was there?
about RO. Have you seen it?
I
Have
have
you read
not. No, I only learned about it just right now.
Oh, well,
It's a good thing I listen to these live streams. Otherwise, I would never know things.
Oh, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
With a kind of video mainly just highlighting how RO is using Procore to kind of help in things such as increase safety, improve collaboration, and just kind of improve the quality of life. And we actually had our very own Nick Vargo in the video.
Oh, Nick Vargo.
So make sure you check it out. We quotes from the little piece.
Lay it on us.
The Procore allows us to build a better product quicker, safer, and faster. That's a win for everybody downstream.
Nice. Well said, Nick.
That's in-house.
Oh, I got 5 things for you here.
Oh.
Starting in 1940, the Charter for the United Nations was signed, bringing the United Nations
Claps,
into
claps.
yeah, United Nations. Do you know in what country it was signed?
Switzerland.
No, that's a fantastic guess. I was actually surprised.
Poland?
No, well, I wasn't that surprised.
Right.
No, it's the country you're currently in, the United
Oh,
States.
really?
Do you know what city? Closer in the.
Ooh, San Francisco.
There you go. There's only two
Oh.
in that state.
In that city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's two San Franciscos in San Francisco. You
Mhm.
didn't know that? There's
No.
San and Francisco.
Oh, it's a little county?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, 1978, we had the first version of the rainbow flag was flown at an LGBTQ pride parade. Do you know in what city?
I want to guess Seattle or Portland.
No, you might have just said the city.
No.
San Francisco, yeah. A lot happening in San Francisco. In 1986, we had the Hand of God goal by Diego Maradona. You know that?
I know the event, yeah.
Wow, I had no idea.
You didn't know?
No.
Cesar knows.
I know Cesar knows.
It's
I
a
asked him, and he was like,
historical
yeah,
event.
1986 against England. It was the last goal. They won the whole. Cesar just knew
Yeah,
everything about it.
It was
I
a big deal.
incredibly
And
impressed.
it clearly was a hint.
Oh, well,
Have you not seen the video?
I did. I watched the video. Yeah, he's
Really?
like,
Didn't you play soccer?
I don't.
It's embarrassing.
In 1997, the first Harry Potter book was published. Do you know the original name of the book? It's very similar to, well, what's the name of the book, rather?
The first one?
Yes.
The Sorcerer's Stone.
Yes. So it's very
Oh.
similar to that. Instead of sorcerer, she used a different noun. Do you know what it might have been?
The Witchcraft Stone.
The Philosopher's Stone.
Of course.
Mhm,
Because they
mhm.
still call it that, right? In the movie?
I think so. I
think so.
I don't know. And the
'Cause I
last
think
one
that's
here.
in Spanish.
Oh,
That's Italian Spanish.
you should have known. Well, no excuses for you. 2016, Brexit.
Mhm.
So we had UK leaving the EU. Gosh. Do you know what percentage supported that move? Just give me-
60%.
No, it was incredibly close. I believe I didn't write it down because I didn't want you to cheat off our notes. I think it's
Oh, I know
51.96%,
it's pretty close.
just a hair over that majority. Pretty crazy.
That is-
So that's for the world. Some quick things about RO. I wanted to shout out 8 years for Wes Elliott, who we had on the show.
We had him on the
maybe
show.
a couple months ago, 2 months ago. God, time flies.
Well, you know how you can check out in our channel
That's right. It has the published date on there.
or Spotify or Apple Podcast, and you
That's
can
right.
hear what he has to say.
So yeah, if you don't know who Wes Elliott is, go check him out. He's a very interesting dude. Very nice guy. Looks intimidating, but yeah, incredibly nice. Great guy. And then we had in 2021 the Torrey Student Housing up in West Campus finished up. 18 stories, 275,000 square feet, 153 units. Do you know how many beds?
Many beds?
Yeah, how many beds were in that?
435.
I think it's 582. 528. I might be dyslexic. Not sure.
You could be making it up.
I could be. And we won the ABC National Excellence
We
in
did.
Construction Pyramid Award. So shout out to that team and everyone involved.
Have you been to that project yet?
I have seen it.
Have you been inside of it?
No, I have not.
Mm.
No. I try to stay out of West Campus now that I no longer go to that school.
PTSD?
So
Oh my
that's
goodness.
been this past week in history. Yeah. Now what you got?
Well, for this building around the world
Ah.
project, I feel you will find it a little fun.
Okay.
So the Abu Dhabi has built the largest indoor farm.
Oh,
Have you
Wow. Oh.
heard about it?
I have not. No.
Well, let me tell you about it.
Okay, tell me. Lay it on us.
So I believe the project was worth around $175 million, and it was a collaboration between a agricultural technology company called Grow Group IFS,
Hmm.
and then Abu Dhabi-based Rainmakers Capital Investment. But get this, Hagen.
Getting it.
The size of this structure is about 32 soccer fields. Do you play soccer?
I don't know.
So
Diego
you-
Maradona did. He liked
Who? Who?
32. Wow.
It's a pretty big structure, and then
Right, yeah.
actually the structure actually is supposed to withstand the so that's pretty. And I know kind of one of the big aspects of it was they're trying to conserve water for those hot climates using kind of technology to monitor the plant. their day-to-day lifestyle to make sure they're taken care of. Also get this. So every 12 months, we'll create about 10,000 tons of fresh vegetables.
10,000.
Do you know how much 10,000 is?
I have no idea how much 10,000 tons. Do you
know
have something to relate it to?
You know blue whales.
Big old blue whale, sure.
Blue whale, that could be about 200 tons worth of weight.
Okay, yeah.
So it would be about 50 of those.
50 blue whales worth of food. Yum,
every
yum,
12 months.
Lots of blubber.
Every 12 months, created in.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
So
that's pretty awesome.
So that's pretty neat. So make sure you check it out. It's in Abu Dhabi.
Okay. Indoor farm.
Indoor farm.
It's gonna be big.
It was built on October 2021.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's been already happening. So you should also find some things about it.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
But that's it for building around the world. And now we're excited to do this. We have a new segment.
Yes, because we don't have enough.
We don't have enough. We're trying to make changes out here. So we're open to feedback. But with this segment, supposed to get the crowd involved.
Okay.
No, we have some viewers who are like in the couch or maybe in the offices, and they're around other people.
I learned that actually a lot of the job trailers, they have it on.
Who?
Our special guest on
special-
project
oh,
sites,
really?
they have it on sometimes.
Yeah, so this segment is supposed to encourage some, during post conversations to happen in the job trailer or the office,
Yeah.
in your living room, wherever you watch this or hear this. So we're calling this segment Hot Takes. That's Hot Takes, in case you couldn't understand. So the idea is we'll just bring a little topic, and it's a hot take conversation, and you talk for a little bit, and then you can take it with your friends, family, and whatnot, and see who's right on this hot take. For this week, I have the hot take that we have for this week is every sandwich a hamburger or is every hamburger a sandwich? Or are they not assimilated? Quick thoughts on this?
I would say a hamburger is a sandwich.
Why?
Final answer. Because how is it not? I feel like there's no difference between it's a piece of meat between two patties.
So you're saying a hamburger can be called a sandwich?
Yes, but it's just a specialized form of a sandwich.
I don't know.
Like a parallelogram is a special rectangle.
Maybe.
Or a special quadrilateral. That's better.
But then they're different then.
They're different, yeah. But it's just a... So you're on the train of it's not a sandwich.
Yes.
You think a burger is its own thing.
Yes.
Wow. How very special burgers are to you.
Very special.
Will you let us know what you think?
In this week's Hot Take.
Hot Takes. That's what you said. But speaking of hot.
Yeah, are you interested? Oh, go for it. Do the transition.
Yes? I was trying to.
You doing great. Keep going.
Bruno's going to introduce our guest.
So we have a podcast first, really.
It is.
Because we actually are bringing, in this hot summer, we're bringing one of our best interns that we have up in Dallas, actually.
Oh,
so this young fella flew all the way from Dallas to join us today.
All the way. Wow.
All the way, very far. I don't know a lot about him. I talked to him 3 minutes before this. But I do know he's a Texas Tech senior.
Oh.
So giddy up. Or I don't know what they say. I do know he's also majoring in business management with a specialized focus in construction management. Which I guess is the reason why he's here.
That probably makes sense. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to hearing about that. And kind of one cool fact is one of his previous jobs involved building pools. So he's very hot item in this summer
talk
heat.
to Zach Coker about it.
Oh, dang. That's a low blow. We're going to get canceled.
It was met with love.
You already got in trouble for that one.
I know I did.
That was gutsy. But he might be studying in Lubbock, Texas, but he's surely far more interesting than that place. So looking forward to learning more about our very own intern, Kevin Williams.
Yay, Kevin!
And you'll get to see him after this short little break.
Yay!
The AI revolution is here. It's happening. It's not coming. It's not next week. It's not next year. It's here, now, today. But we're going to help you learn how to use those tools to better your workflows.
At RO, we're starting the AI-powered construction challenge. And during this challenge, we want to get ideas from y'all on how we can leverage AI tools to improve any and all aspects of your day-to-day routine. You can use tools like ChatGPT,
Bard is another one, powered through Google.
DALL-E, another open AI platform that generates images for you.
One of my favorites, Midjourney, another AI image generation tool that does some incredible things. There's a lot of use cases for this too, aren't there, Hagen?
Oh, there's plenty, yeah.
You can go through whether you're making meeting minutes or perhaps trying to write an email. Are there any examples you know of that could help people out here?
You need help starting an RFI. I know I use it a lot to help me write some simple programming functions and things in Excel, the more complex formulas.
Almost anything you can imagine that uses written language, there is going to be some bot out there today that can help you do it better. So we're going to go in, we're going to talk about some of those tools, showcase how you use them, some of their benefits, downfalls, and we look forward to seeing what you put together into the AI-powered construction challenge.
And we said, you know what? This is all going well. We don't,
So
you know,
Oh, yeah.
no need to improve. We can coast on what we have.
Exactly.
And last week was quite the kerfluffle. And then this week is just little issues here and there. The stream's kind of cutting in and out. And Cesar and I are back looking like, this is YouTube. I can't do anything about that.
I feel like you guys have a great setup going on. I love it.
Man, we're trying. We're open to suggestions. If you happen to be a streamer yourself.
It looks pretty legit to me. So, yeah, a little nervous, but I'm all right.
Mr. Kevin Williams,
Yes, sir.
thank you for joining us today.
I am glad to be here.
So you are an intern here, is that correct?
Yes, sir, in operation.
Operations out of which office, for those that aren't familiar?
In Dallas.
Gotcha. So I didn't have the good blessing of getting to be a Rogers O'Brien intern before signing on here.
Mhm.
As an intern, what does your day-to-day tasks and all that kind of look like?
Well, it varies. Just I'll say it varies just on what's going on at the moment of the project. Sorry. So, I mean, it can vary from as soon as I walk in, I could be typing RFI. I could be out in the field QCing new material, making sure that new material that's arriving on site is the correct size, the correct fit. It just makes sure it's what we ordered. It can start off with a meeting, a little coordination, making sure our subs are settled for the day, understanding what they're going to be doing. Of course, helping out the QM, I would say. Just anything that those guys need help out with it as well.
I don't think I realized how broad the use case of an intern was, for lack of a better way to put it.
It's definitely all over the place. I mean, honestly, just wherever anyone needs help, that's where we are.
Very cool. What's been your this is your second summer with
Second summer,
R?
yes.
What's been your favorite thing so far? I realize you still have at least a couple months left in this internship, but
My favorite thing so far, I have learned a lot about just concrete post-tension cables, which in my previous summer I only got a little bit of that, just because the structure was already pretty much up and settled. So I was mainly an MEP. But this summer, I'm definitely getting that taste and, just how to build a parking garage and just knowing more about structures.
I know Bruno mentioned you're going to Texas Tech already, so he filled in that blank for me.
Yes, sir.
What are
Yep.
you studying up there at Tech?
So I'm a business management major or general business major with a minor in construction engineering.
Okay, that's interesting. Hold on now. So the construction engineering, is that separate, different from the construction science program, or is it just a couple of the classes rather than a full suite?
So at Texas Tech, we don't have a construction science program. It's only through the engineering department. But I mean, I wouldn't say there's not much difference. Just with it being with the engineering department, there's a lot more math, a lot more physics, just pretty much a lot more science, I guess you could say, that goes into it, rather than just learning about construction by itself.
I'm still in the process of wrapping my head around this.
Oh, I am too.
Well, it's just such an interesting thing because I know Texas State, A&M, I'm trying to think about it. Most of the construction science schools, they'll have a construction science program, and then you get a minor in business management or business administration or something like that.
Yeah.
And you've inverted that entirely. Or I say you, Texas Tech.
And yeah, I have. It's mainly because I started out in construction engineering my freshman year.
And I would say, honestly, up until my junior year last year, it was in the summer, I decided at the beginning of my internship that I just wanted to get more versed in the business world. So that's when I just took that on as a major. It was easier to take that on as a major and put the engineering as a minor because so to have a minor, you have to have 18 hours. And I was already at like 16, so it was just easier to just switch it that way. And I mean, it's the best of both worlds, the way I look at it.
How do you think that will benefit you in the long run?
I would say as far as the business aspect of it helps me more so in the office. Let's put it that way, as far as paperwork, emails, terminology, when numbers are getting thrown around, I'm just more versed in it. And of course, the construction side helps me out in the field. I can understand everything that's going on, everything that's about to start, reading drawings, comparing drawings, anything like that, I would say.
That's I'm especially interested in this. I think it was last Thursday, I went to a Construction Leadership Council leadership forum.
Okay.
And they had a panel of industry leaders in leadership, and they were talking about, what would you tell young folks to do, or how could people better prepare to be in a PM or higher up into the echelons positions. And they're like, go study business, go learn contracts, learn finance. Actually, I think it was finance. I think it was Burton Hackney actually from Joris was saying like, go take accounting classes, study finance, know how to navigate contracts and all that, because that is going to be a differentiator throughout your career, and especially as you get higher up. Sounds weird, but as you find yourself more responsible for a larger amount of money.
Oh, for sure.
That's going to be more and more critical.
For sure. I would say that being as versatile as possible is just my goal, and I feel like that would be my best advice in that scenario. Just, get as much information and knowledge as you can. That way you can be as useful in every aspect as you can.
That's beautiful. Very well put. And getting out there, getting some experience with PT cables and pouring concrete. What kind of stuff are you doing there? You just checking shop drawings? You're out in the field checking drape on them and all that? And
so this summer last summer I was in the field a lot, and this summer I'm in the field just as much, probably more. Right now we're building the structure mainly, getting all the concrete settled, because this is right now one of RO's only wood frame jobs, so that's pretty cool to learn about. That'll be starting up for us July 10th. We're going to start the framing for it. But so right now, just getting the base and everything settled, and just, I've been I've been paying attention to we call it a waffle grid, and basically, we just dig little tunnels throughout the dirt, and instead of just pouring so much concrete into an empty space, we use it to fill it and allow the dirt to help, support the structure. So things like that, I would say, is probably been the best part of this summer, learning about that.
It's very cool. I feel like there's something, there's a level of novelty whenever it's all new. It's like you're a newborn, like a 2-year-old kid again who just figured out how to walk. You're like,
yes,
I thought I knew so much stuff, and now I'm walking around and there's switches and strings and pillow, like, I don't know, whatever 2-year-olds are interested in.
Yes, I would definitely agree. I tell the guys on my job that I was like, compared to you guys, I feel like I know nothing. But I mean, that's what I'm there for, to learn and soak up as much from them as possible.
I think the construction isn't that hard, right? Construction itself is not that hard.
Yeah.
Someone else has already designed this for you. All you have to do is ask someone else to do this work and say, hey, we'll pay you this money to do this work. But there are so many soft skill side of things that are extremely difficult. And that's, I think, where if you're a good fit for the company, you're a good communicator, you're a critical thinker, that sort of ordeal, anyone can learn construction. Yeah. Right? You could bring in a mathematician or a physician or whatever. They can figure out construction. But sure, I don't know that all of them would have the ability to take a bunch of rod busters and be like, hey, guys, I know it's Friday, but we're a couple days behind schedule. I need you to come in tomorrow and tie up that next deck or the next pour or whatever. That takes a very special personality type.
Yeah, I definitely would agree. I mean, I feel that it's all about being a people person, understanding people and understanding that everyone is different. So therefore, you have to know how to communicate with every different person that you're working with. So, just having those people skills and understanding who you're working with, honestly.
Why did you pick RO, or why did RO, I don't know if I can ask you why Aura picked you. I suppose that's a question for whomever grabs you from the tech job fair. Have to talk to Ash about that. But what drew you into RO?
Well, it all started. It's been about 2 years now. So I was at the career fair. It was back in September of like 2021, I believe. And it's a very crazy story. I was leaving. I had talked to probably 15 different companies.
This was the construction career fair?
Yes,
Okay.
at Texas Tech. Our school hosts 2 every year. So I was there. I talked to about 20 different companies. And what's so crazy is that it was the first career fair I attended at Texas Tech. And I only printed 1 resume. so I was a little nervous going into it because I was like, okay, I only have 1 copy of my resume, so I'm pretty much just gonna have to sell myself to everyone else here.
Do they not have copy machines in
They
Lubbock?
did. I don't know what I was thinking. I just printed off the 1 and put it in the binder and said, all right, I'm good. So yeah, pretty crazy story. Talking to all these different companies, and as I'm leaving, I see Marcus McShann at the table. And he's just looking at me and I'm looking at him. And like I said, I was leaving. So it was like, I was trying to make that split decision of should I talk to him? Should I leave? And then I was like, you know what? Just like my dad always taught me, always never meet a stranger. Go introduce yourself. You never know what can happen. So I went over, introduced myself, and he invited me out to dinner after about, we talked about an hour. And that's where the story gets funnier because he never sent me the address to where we were going to eat. So I ended up going to dinner with another company, and then he calls me and he's like, hey, I don't know if we got things backwards. Where are you? And I was like, well, Marcus, I didn't get anything. I didn't know. So he was like, well, we're over here. Come over right now. I get up, I head over, we have dinner, and the rest was history. We're here now.
The rest seems like a very murky history just based on what I've got so far.
It was definitely unexpected, I would say that.
I don't know where to begin.
Told
Were
you it was
you like
crazy.
having dinner with this other GC and you're like, I gotta go, guys.
I was in the middle of dinner with Rand Construction. I hate to name drop, but I was having dinner with them, and it was probably about 20 other students at the table, and
Okay.
we were talking to their, I don't know who it was. It was like their HR director, and they're giving us their spiel about the company and everything. And I look down on my phone and I see Marcus, and just from that conversation Marcus and I had at the career fair, I felt like he just cared about me like at the start. So it was just like, I want to go see what he's talking about. So I made the decision to get up and go over there.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Just, man, that's wild.
It is a crazy story. I said.
I'm happy it shook out well. I have to get Marcus on here. He's been on our hit list for a while, but I have to get him on here and ask him about. Be like, what was the deal with Kevin Williams, man? What? Get his phone number wrong while you're trying to steal him from other GCs. He didn't have a resume. What'd you see in this kid?
I mean, and that's what made it so fun. I was just able to sell myself to him, honestly, and in turn, he did the same. That's where the connection really grew. Not only was I trying to get him to understand who I am as a person and what I'm looking for, he sold RO so well. Oh, so well.
And I have you must have presented yourself very well, because I think of so many of the books, publications, essays, whatever you read that state that public speaking, really communication skills, but public speaking by de facto is one of the best indicators to someone's success in life, right? So I feel like if you can roll up as a college student, hand someone a resume and talk about your resume and about yourself, that's great. If you can do that without a resume and convince that person that you're competent, composed, intelligent, and all that, that's job well done, sir.
Thank you. I like to pat myself on the back for it. I just looked at it that day as a challenge. I was already there, so I just want to see what I can make happen.
So what got you into construction in the first place?
Well, I would say I knew that I wasn't the kind of person that just wanted to be at a desk all day. I knew I didn't want to be in an office all day, and I wanted to see the world, I would definitely say, and travel. I wanted to move around whatever city or state that I was in. So I would say those two things for sure. I wanted to be out in the weather, all of it. So I know it's crazy to say, but it just is what it is. I like the hot, I like the cold, I like the rainy days. I haven't experienced a snow day yet, but I'm sure it'll be fun.
You're in the right spot for the heat for sure, and apparently the rain from time to time.
Yes, I am.
But yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get a whole lot of cold. everything kind of comes to a screeching halt once it's at or below freezing.
Yeah, that's the crazy part about Texas. Seasons just everywhere.
Are you from Texas?
Yes, sir, Dallas.
Okay. Don't call me sir.
I'm sorry.
Jesus.
It's
Oh
just
my-
an habit.
making me uncomfortable now. I work for a living, sort of. So, you're from Dallas. You're going to tech, and you're trying to. You don't want a desk job.
Mm-hmm.
Superintendent route. Is that kind of what I'm extrapolating here? But it sounds like you got a bit of that business acumen you're trying to build up sooner than later.
You know, I definitely feel like the superintendent route is for me. It's kind of what I want to do. I don't want to just lock myself in yet, but I definitely feel that it's what's for me, you know, working with the guys outside. And I mean, there's still a part of everything going on inside as well, but I just like that they're in the field a little bit more.
We're about to go down the rabbit hole now. I'm excited about this.
That'll get me in trouble.
Oh, no, never. That's never happened on this, ever. So what you're interested in the superintendent route after, I mean, I realize there's only been 2 summers of internships. You have plenty of professional growth ahead of you. What are your concerns going the superintendent route? What kind of thoughts are lingering in the back of your head that are deterring you from thinking like, oh, I am meant to be a superintendent. I will be a superintendent for the next 50 years of my life. Make Denny Dinsmore look like a rookie by the time I'm done.
I would say that I like that no matter what the problem is going on the job, they are always the final solution. You know, that is who everyone looks to when all breaks loose, and that's where the answer comes from. That's the person I want to be. I want to be that guy that everyone can turn to and know that, you know, Kevin's gonna know, and if I don't know that I'm gonna get you an answer. So that's why I would say.
Is there anything that scares you about it? If there's one thing that we could tell you today that you would be like, I'm definitely going to be a superintendent. I have no interest in being a project manager. I have no interest in being in the quality department or anything like that. What would it take?
To scare me away from being a super?
Yeah.
I would say taking a lot of time away from my family.
Okay.
I guess I definitely plan on being, you know, a great husband one day, a great father. So, you know, if I ever feel that is going to pull me away from my family too much, maybe that. But that's a conversation for another day.
It is. I think it seems that finding superintendents is getting more and more difficult with each day that passes.
Mm-hmm.
So someone like yourself that's young and just coming into the field is like, hey, this is kind of where I think I might want to be. That's how I came into the field as well. I'm going to go superintendent route and all that, and tried it for a bit, and ended up here because of life happenings. But I think it's interesting, and I think a lot of others would share the same fears that you have.
Mm-hmm.
There's that, and I don't want to call it perception because I think it is a reality that superintendent is glued to their job.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's, for any of them, I don't think it's a matter of neglect for other things. I think is they care so much.
Yes.
I think they care about their projects probably more than anyone else on those projects.
For sure.
So it's tough to divorce those feelings, that tie you have to the job site, to the project, from everything else, to compartmentalize. That's what I was looking for, to split them apart. But I don't, you know, things have changed. I think long gone are the days of superintendents who are compelled to show up at 5:30 in the morning or 4 in the morning, whatever, for concrete pour, and then they're expected to stay there until 5, 6, 7 at night.
Yeah, you know, the way I look at it, I'm the kind of person that I feel that I'm going to do whatever it takes to get the job done. So that's another reason why I lean so hard that way, because, you know, every superintendent that I've had the opportunity to work with so far, that's how they are. You know, they're going to do whatever it takes to get the job done at any means necessary. And that's just the kind of person that I am naturally. So it's just more of an attraction to it, I guess you could say.
I like it. I love to hear it. Who have been some of the most influential people on you, either in or out of RO?
Out of RO, I would say my dad and my mom, obviously, because they raised me to who I am today. Within RO, I would have to say Charles Williams and Jacob Berry. Then that was from my last job site. So on this job site right now, the QMs there, Johnny Castillo and Seth Snyder, they've been a great help to me as well, been teaching me a lot. So I would say those are the most influential people right now, you know, that have really just taken me under their wing and, you know, showed me the way.
Very cool. I don't know John, but I've spent some time talking with Seth, and he's a standout guy.
Oh,
so
yeah.
definitely a good one to pick some things up from here and there, and to
For
have
sure.
help guiding you through the treacherous conditions of internship.
Yes. Seth is great.
So how many years of school do you have left? Is this coming up on the end for you? Or?
I am in the final home run.
Oh, really? So
December.
Wait, I was about to say, I don't even know what season it is. Or
Yeah.
what. This is June. So, yeah, you'll be done in December.
Yes, sir.
And then you going straight in full-time work? Or are you doing some traveling in Europe for a year or whatever?
I want to get to work.
Yeah?
I'm ready to start making some money and getting my feet in the ground, you know, to this thing running. I look at it.
That's I don't blame you for that.
Got the rest of my life, you know, at some point to retire and enjoy all of that. But right now, the way I was raised, you know, these are the grinding years. So work hard now and you can relax later. That's the plan.
It'll definitely pay dividends. Yeah. Putting in the time, and I think there's probably some element too of I feel like you're able to absorb so much more when you're younger.
For
You
sure.
know what I mean?
For sure.
So if you're able to expose yourself to every different kind of job, every different type of project delivery methodology, every type of owner and project team, I feel like that is going to build out a toolkit for you, instead of, you know, well, I'm going to go really conservative on things. I only want to work on these types of projects or with these types of people. And you get to be 10, 15 years in, and suddenly you're encountering the first design build project or whatever, first hard bid project, whatever it might be. And you're like, oh, what do I do now? How does this work?
You know, that's another thing, you know, I kind of run off fear, and I don't ever want to be that guy that's 10 or 15 years into his career that might seem like he doesn't know what's going on, or he might be a little lost on the subject. You know, I always want to be spot on and on point. So that's another reason why I'm so eager right now.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let's first start with, what do you like to do for fun whenever you're not grinding away the pencil lead on paper up there in Lubbock and throwing tortillas at people?
I would say for fun, I wouldn't know if this would be fun, but so I'm in a fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and I am my chapter's president, and I also serve as the executive vice on our council for all the fraternity sororities at Texas Tech. So anything fraternity, sorority related, planning events, kind of like what we're doing now going into this fall semester, just we're getting those service events knocked out, what we're going to do as far as volunteer work, all that good stuff, you know, planning events on campus. I say that's where my joy is right now.
Event planner. I picked that up a couple of times there. And my first thought was, because I'm a very selfish human. I'm highly self-kind. I'm very selfish.
At least you admit to it, right?
I do. I'm aware of it. And I'm thinking, oh, you like to plan events. I've got some events I'm trying to plan. I might have to hit you up.
Hey, I'm not too bad.
You know, but then as I was thinking about the selfish needs of myself here, I was like, that's really what a superintendent is.
Yeah.
And I've just upset 30% of the company, or however many whatever the percentage of superintendents is. But I wasn't in a frat, so forgive my ignorance on the topic. But I would imagine as you're going through planning those events, you have multiple different parties that you have to associate with. Whatever the venue is, you have to work out with them. You know, what time can we get here? What time do we have to set up? When do we have to be out of here? You have to get people to show up, and you have to promote it and all that, get people excited about it.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. You know, there is that relationship there kind of with the construction management side. I mean, because as far as scheduling and making sure every person from every aspect of whatever it is you have going on is on their stuff and has everything together. That way, when it's time to bring it all together, you know, it all meshes. So, and leadership skills as well, I would say, you know.
I was just about to ask you about that one. Were you the president for last year? Is that this year?
I was this last spring.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when it started, which is a terrible time to start. With spring break and everything.
Oh, yeah, trial by fire, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel like you're already using some of the skills that you gained from being in that leadership role as a fraternity president in your work?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it has definitely helped me in the sense of being able to have that tough conversation no matter what it is. and understanding that people aren't always going to make the best decision. So, it's having those plans and strategies ready for how we're going to solve those issues and deal with them just ahead of time. It's definitely helped me in that aspect. Yes.
Yeah. Said I wasn't in a frat, but I can only assume that there's some notable conflict resolution that comes into play, as well as hey, like let's think about how we present ourselves and how we conduct our business, not just do the most impulsive thing.
There is. Couldn't agree more. There is. A lot of it.
Is it mainly people similar age and all that, kind of that, like, what, 18 to 23, 4, whatever?
Yeah. Your typical what you see in the movies. I mean, it's just for someone who doesn't understand.
Animal House. Yeah. Got it. Okay. Do you know, I'm not going to ask that question. Let's disregard. So you like to do the event planning for fun and being involved with the fraternity, both within your fraternity and then at the greater level with the university and being on. I'm sorry, what did you say your role was there?
So for my chapter itself, I am the president at Texas Tech University on the Zayeda chapter. And as far as Texas Tech, I serve as the executive vice of the MPHC Council.
Okay, gotcha. Executive vice of the whole.
Yeah, whole shebang.
Whole shebang. So that's kind of interesting. Just the filling both of those roles at the same time. It seems like one's almost a subset of the other. So I would imagine it would give you. It's kind of like building a project as a PM or superintendent while also supervising the project as a field director or project director.
For sure. The way I look at it is I have to keep the interests of both organizations at hand. I have to know what's best for my own organization along with what's best for Texas Tech. So I definitely would say that it's relatable as well as far as out there in the field. I mean, you're going to have the best decision as far as what's going on in office, as far as, when are you getting submittals back and things like that. And then, you're going to have those same skills as far as coordination outside and understanding that your subs are taken care of, especially with the heat the way it is, and understanding what they're going through and how you can help them. I definitely agree.
Whenever you're our COO here in like 5 years, don't forget about the little guys who gave you some screen time and got you.
I won't.
Got you connected with everyone, right? Marcus and myself and people services.
Don't let Justin hear that, please.
If you had $100 million, now this is not like some trick finance question. It's not like, oh, is it drug money? Is it because sequential bills are like, nah, just a good faith $100 million and just hand it to you today. What are you gonna do? What would you do?
What would I do? First, I would have to figure out how I can get more out of that. So I would have to, I don't know, go buy some car dealerships, buy a lot of property, find some developers, go out there, develop it, put whatever they want on it, and just figure out how to make that 100 million into $1 billion. That would be my mindset. Then with the rest, have to buy mom and dad a house, I would say.
There you go.
Probably go buy me an F-350. So yeah, I would say after that, investments.
Pretty conservative for a frat president.
I get that a lot. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and believe that's a good thing.
Yeah.
F-350, eh? What are you, a Ford guy? Or?
Yeah, I'm a Ford guy.
What do you drive now?
F-150.
F-150. That's
cute. What do you drive?
Chevy 2500.
Of course. Okay. See,
yeah.
My first truck was a Chevy, so.
Though it's been tough. It's been a great truck. It's an 07, and I love it to death. It just can't tow it. I need it to tow. So I've been looking at the 350s and the 450s lately. They've got the support there,
Yeah, I just feel like Ford has that best look. I mean, especially when it comes to the originality and classicness. I just feel like that box is just it's nothing better, honestly. In my opinion. I know other people differ, so.
Very politically correct. I'm not saying it's the best. I'm saying it's the best in my opinion.
Yeah.
My opinion is also the one that matters, but no, as you mentioned, open up a car dealer too. I've got a feeling you're a bit of a gearhead or a car enthusiast or something along those lines.
I am. So I get that from my dad, who owns a record service, And he also has a couple of race cars. He does drag racing. I'm sorry. 68 Chevelle and 69 Chevelle. So I just love cars.
Very
Cars,
cool.
trucks, all of it.
What kind of, I know you said drag racing. Is he just kind of go out to the local strip? Or does he run like NHRA stuff? Or
Just going out to the local strip for him is pure fun. You know, none of the gambling or anything. We're just out there trying to have some fun. See how fast we can make these cars go.
man, it is an absolute blast. Yeah, you get out there, especially in a, you said 68 Mustang?
No, Chevelle.
Chevelle, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
sir.
This is where I start thinking too far ahead and I'm not listening, and I'm very
Yeah,
sorry.
we're good on the roll now.
Yeah. No, that's yeah, especially it's just something about those cars that you can really do some modifications to and see the
Sure.
result. Newer cars are fantastic. They're I could almost guarantee you there's probably a new Toyota that's as fast as that Chevelle and handles
yeah.
better and gets better
Definitely.
mileage. But like you can't really tinker with it. You know what I mean? It's so optimized already that if you do want to go in and mess with it, you're talking about like I don't know, rebuilding the motor for higher compression and
Yeah.
retuning it. You need special software and cables and computers and all that.
That is true. There's definitely a lot more to it now than it is with those older ones. And nothing beats American Muscle. So
Yeah,
That's what I
the
love about
looks
it.
right. It's
Oh.
just
looks, sound, all of it.
tough to beat. That's very cool. Yeah, and I don't know if mom and dad are listening out there, but I'm sure they're like, all right, how do we get him that $100 million? Where do we sign up for that?
I'm sure they're probably watching.
You seem to kind of live in the growth mindset. I'm sure you've probably heard that tossed around at some point in time. Is that something you do intentionally, or is that just kind of your default state?
It's something I do intentionally. I feel like I can learn something from everyone, no matter whether it's construction, whether it's school, whether it's something within a fraternity. I feel like there's always something or some knowledge that can be gained from whatever it is you're doing. So yeah, try to be a sponge in every situation I enter. That's what I would say.
Definitely. That's something I think not enough people do.
Yeah.
It's really easy to go into that scarcity mindset, right?
For sure.
And you're kind of looking around. You're I don't want to say constantly living in fear, because that's probably not entirely accurate. But it puts you in a very defensive position from the
Oh, yeah.
get go. And I think whenever you do that, you start closing doors real
Yeah.
quick.
That's very true, especially, when you go in there ready to absorb everything, it just leaves you with such an open mindset, and you never know where things are going to go. So,
I could be wrong, but I bet most people that I have asked that question, if you had $100 million, would you? They started $100 million, and they go, okay, I'm gonna put some here, and 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 now I'm empty. And you're like, I've got this, I want to get there. So
Yeah.
how can I,
keep growing, yeah.
yeah.
Try to attack every situation like that, I would say.
Car dealerships and land development are two great spots to make money.
Yeah.
Racing, not so much.
Not so much, no. Yeah, I would definitely agree. That's better for me just to watch.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
Never had any inclination to go compete, go drive, or anything like that?
I do, but my dad doesn't let me.
Oh.
I don't know what it is. I have no clue. He is keeping me far away from it, but
I don't have kids, but I've had soldiers.
Mhm.
And I think there's some like paternal instinct of, I'm not going to strap you to a 160 mile an hour rocket and see what happens. I'm like, we're going to keep you bubble wrapped and safe and
Yes.
put you in the corner or whatever.
that's exactly what it is. I think he doesn't want to have to be the person to tell my mom, like,
Oh.
hey, Kevin just got into a little wreck. He doesn't want to be that guy. So.
Yeah. Even if you walk away from it without a scratch,
Oh, yeah.
he's still going to have to tell her.
He's
And,
just taking the approach of leaving it at my discretion right now. Once I'm old enough, he'll probably just say, do whatever you want.
There you
I'm
go.
sure. So,
Excuse me. So it's been 2 summers for you, and hopefully you find that RO is a good fit for you, and you come back and we're able to hold on to you for a long
of
time.
course.
I'm looking forward to episode 458, Kevin Williams Part 2.
Me too.
But I'd like to know, given your relatively short tenure here so far,
Mhm.
what do you love the most about RO?
Oh, it's a couple things, but first I would say the hospitality. That's what I would say. Everyone here is just so welcoming. My first day last summer with Karen and the HR team, they do a very great job of getting the interns in, getting them settled, getting them comfortable before they just send us out to the job sites. Excuse me. And even when we do get to the job sites, especially just in my experience, the ones I've been on, those guys are very welcoming as well. Of course, they'll play a little joke here and there. They have to the interns, but they're always willing to teach. You know, there's never a wrong answer. There's never a bad question. There's never a stupid question. They just want you to learn. And because, I mean, one day you're going to be replacing them, and they want to make sure that, you know, things are going to go and flow. And that's just what I've learned so far. That's what I would say.
It is a beautiful thing, that kind of passage of knowledge down to others, because you look at, I don't know what our average tenure is for a superintendent, but say it's 12 to 15 years. That's, I can even imagine hundreds of millions of dollars of work they've put in place, and they've probably seen every poor performing subcontractor, every instance of some conflict arising out of discretion in the drawings, every just team that didn't get along as well as they would have liked. And they have all this institutional knowledge of how they got through that, how you still, because at the end of the day, we get these things built, no matter what.
Exactly.
Right? The project team might be at each other's throats by the end of it, but like that project is going to get built.
It's going to happen.
It's going to get delivered, and we find a way to push through. So I think your awareness and appreciation for that knowledge getting passed down will treat you well in the long run.
I feel like it will.
Yeah,
I feel like it will.
And the short run too, right?
Yeah.
Shoot, that's
It's
it's
already
not to
paying
be
off,
appreciated.
I feel like. So we're about to graduate. I feel like I know some things. I feel like I'm a little ahead of my classmates just from RO in general. I mean, I've learned so much just in 2 summers, you know, and a lot of this stuff you just don't get from the classroom, I would say. So
Definitely. Yeah. I don't know what the construction union program is like up at Tech, but I don't recall ever through going through Texas State and the construction science program, I don't recall really like going into doing a submittal or doing an RFI. Right? Talk about what is an RFI, what are the implications of it, what are things you need to consider in it. I don't know if I ever sat down and like wrote an RFI.
and no,
or
and,
wrote a
and
submittal.
honestly, you know, I do remember the first time we just learned what the acronym meant, you know, request for information, and that kind of was just it. It was just like, you know, this is something we run into a problem. You'll just send it out once you get on the job site. But
There you
you
go.
know,
What are we requesting? Why do we need it? Isn't
exactly.
It all there?
You know, I didn't understand the complexity of it. So now that I've probably written 20 or 30, it's like, man, these things are really simple. You know, we just need answers. That's the way I've always heard it.
Do you remember your first RFI?
I do.
What was it?
I want to say it was when I was at Tradition Clear Fork. Definitely when I was there. I believe it has something to do with the light fixtures. And so basically we had like these circular light fixtures, but the blocking behind it was square. So I believe we had to, you know, get that RFI in on how we were going to fix those, what do we want to call them? I guess the receptacle for it. We had to figure out, you know, how we were going to adjust it so they would fit. And it just took a lot of coordination between us, the electrician, the design team, you know, per usual things.
If tuition costs what, like $2,000 per hour per semester, whatever, something like that, I don't know. What value would you put on that first RFI? Now, mind you, were getting paid to write that RFI, so you're already like, you're already on the up and up there. But if you had to exchange that level of knowledge for dollars in a classroom, what would you say it's worth?
In a classroom? I would say, are you asking me like what it would cost to learn that in school?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm asking.
I would say
now.
I would say about $1,200.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you're looking at for just if you were to they don't offer this course, at least not at Tech, but if let's say you want to take a course over RFIs and submittal exchange or just the flow of command on how those work, you're looking at about $1,200 for that for a 3-hour class.
There we go. So whenever Mauricio there, the learning development director, comes in, he's got a number to work with now. And be like, you know what? It's an interesting way to think about things, right? I don't know. And I do think we just discovered a new bit. What was your first RFI? Start asking people that.
Yeah.
I wish we had that one ready to go whenever we had Alan Codina on here, see if he could remember his first RFI.
You know what I do remember most about it, though, is that right after I typed it up, I was showing it to Jacob Berry and Sterling Coker. And I was like, hey, guys, you know, how does this look? And they're like, oh, it looks great, man. It looks great. You know, you can send it off. As soon as I clicked send, they were like, oh, wait. And my heart sank. That's why I remember it so much, because I really thought that like I messed it up or I mistyped something. I was just like, no way. But turns out it was all right. So just a little scared.
Just playing games.
Yeah.
That's, got to thicken up that skin a little
Oh
bit.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not gonna hurt you. I don't think. I hope not. Hopefully, you didn't lose too much sleep over that.
No, I
moment
didn't.
of terror.
Definitely, probably my heart probably skipped a beat though.
Yeah. What are you most excited about following graduation? I mean, you're gonna finish up school. You're walking out with your business major and construction engineering minor. You're gonna go off and get yourself a great job wherever that may be, here or elsewhere. But like outside of kind of that standard stuff, what are you most excited about?
I'm most excited about learning myself. I feel like college is that time to prepare yourself as a young man and enter the workforce. So I would say I'm most excited just to apply those skills into the real world and everything that I've learned so far. That's definitely where the excitement is right now.
Man, that was very mature of you. Would have been like not going to class.
There's definitely a level of excitement there. Yeah. I don't want to turn in another assignment.
Right.
Not to a professor, at least. So, yeah.
Not paying tuition, not having
tuition, yeah.
There's just something about the whole class scheduling thing that always bothers me. Like, oh, well, that's not available, so you need this one before that one, so you got to take this, but you can't take this because it's only offered in. It's like I just want to learn something. Don't make it difficult for me.
My professor, I'm over all of it.
Yeah, yeah. We've got, I think, time for one more question here, Mr. Williams. First intern, by the way. I don't know if you mentioned that or not, but this. And you came at the recommendation of the other Kevin there, Mr. Kevin Porter.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, that's I said, hey, I don't care who we get on, but I think someone from Dallas and someone in ops. We do try to balance it, so we get a good spread of each region as well as ops and support departments. He said, well, how do you feel about having an intern on? It's a second-year intern. And I was like, if you're willing to vouch for him, I'm in. No questions for me. So congratulations on being the first intern.
Thank you guys for having me.
And you're obviously still a young buck, but if you had to give young Kevin some advice, which in your case is maybe like a 5-year-old Kevin, I don't know, what would you tell a younger Kevin?
What would I tell younger Kevin? I would say read more books and start. That would be weird to tell someone young, but I'll say it anyway. I would say start trying to overanalyze situations at a younger age. So that way, once those problems arise in the future, you can already be familiar with it. Which, to make it make more sense, just try to put myself in, more difficult situations, whether I have been taking more honors classes in middle school, more AP classes in high school, which I did, but, like I said, taking more, getting the full schedule's worth. I would definitely say that. Just putting myself up to every task and challenge that's presented.
Okay. Give yourself a bit more of a push.
Yeah.
Have a little bit of faith in yourself. Have a little confidence. Go for that additional class. Go for that AP American History instead of the standard American History. Just push a bit harder.
Mm-hmm.
That's yeah. It's the only way we grow, right? You got to be in that stretch zone to really develop as a human. If you always stay in that area of comfort, you're never going to grow significantly.
Exactly.
So, man, not even out of school yet, you've already got fantastic advice to your younger self.
I try.
Well, this was a lot of fun. I'm super happy you came in. Thanks for. I think you flew in too.
I did.
Man, flew in just to do the live stream. To everyone out there that tuned in, I apologize for any issues we had. It just seems like it's one thing after another. This week, I don't know if it was on us. I think it was YouTube. We were getting some errors that there wasn't enough information coming out of one machine into the other, but then it would just magically start working again. So I don't know what's going on there. It sounds like we might have some audio issues. I'm not sure how many of those are trickling downstream, but we'll work on getting those cleaned up. AI challenge is still going. You can still text to that number if you receive that message. Just reply to that text message. That's it. Tell us what your idea is. We'll get it in there. You can also go into the innovation station, type it up as well if you'd rather elaborate with some more clarity. Like Kevin said, stay hydrated, right?
Yes, sir.
It's hot out there. It's supposed to cool all the way down into the mid-90s next week, but that's still pretty hot. So make sure you're staying hydrated. Make sure you guys staying hydrated. Have those tents set up, water coolers, all that good stuff. Again, sorry for any of the technical issues that we have. You heard Mr. Williams. Pick up a book. Read it. It's good for you. Expand your horizons.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be back next week, I think it's July 5th, day after the 4th of July, and we will be celebrating with Mr. Hector Medrano, APM? I should have looked beforehand. I think he's an APM or QM down in San Antonio. Gentleman with a lot of experience in that market and a lot of things to share, so looking forward to that. And, we'll see you all next Wednesday. Thank you again, Kevin.
Thank you. Have a blast.